Well, good afternoon. Thank you all for coming out. We're extremely excited to talk about Senator Rosenpep's and my proposal, along with our House cross-followers, moving forward with the idea that of a re-regulation bill in the state of Maryland. To sum it all up, it really comes down to this. Now's the time. The numbers work. We need to move to re-regulation. And when you think about what's going on in the lives of consumers all over the state of Maryland, our timing could not be better for re-regulation. Because when we left here last year and the General Assembly adjourned, oil was about $147 a barrel. Natural gas was about $14 and change for a million cubic feet. And coal was at record levels. As we stand here today, oil prices have plummeted into the 30s. Natural gas per million cubic feet is about $4 and change. And coal has crashed. Yet if I were to ask each of you as you go around the room what's happening to your utility bills, when I asked other citizens that are calling our offices here in the legislature, their utility bills are skyrocketing. We need to stop that. We think the system's broken. What you're going to hear today through Senator Rosenpep, Jeff Hook, our consultant, and other groups that have come together in support of the idea that now is the time to re-regulate. As we go through this press conference, we'll lay out the numbers. We have kits available for you to talk through specifically what those numbers are. We're excited. The time to act is now. And we have the group and the expertise to move forward to make our case. We'd ask the citizens of Maryland to be involved, call the legislature, let them know that they want to re-regulate now. So let's move forward here with Senator Rosenpep to talk about some of the details of our re-regulation bill. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The re-regulation bill that we have introduced does three things. Number one, it takes back control of Maryland's energy future, as Governor O'Malley has proposed, by giving the PSC what is called Integrated Resource Planning Authority. It means that the decisions about what plants will be built, when they will be built, and who will benefit from their building will be made by the Public Service Commission, not by the out-of-state utilities. Number two, it says that new plants built in Maryland, whether they be coal, gas, nuclear, wind, solar, whatever, will be built under regulation to protect consumers. Their energy will have to be offered first to Maryland consumers. If Marylanders are going to pay the environmental costs of new generation facilities, Maryland consumers deserve to get the economic benefits. That's the system we had for 100 years. That's the system that most states in this country have, and that's the system that Maryland consumers deserve once again. And number three, it says that the Public Service Commission will be directed to find opportunities to get back under state regulation existing power plants where the price would be good for consumers. So, for example, the 10 power plants that were built by BG&E ratepayers and then given to Constellation and have allowed Constellation to earn monopoly profits for these recent years could come back under rate regulation, could come back as part of BG&E if the Public Service Commission determined, based on expert analysis, that it could be done at a price that would hold rates down for consumers. PSC under our bill would have similar authority to deal in the PEPCO trade territory and the other trade territories of the state. I'm going to ask two of our colleagues who are sponsoring the bill in the House, Delegate Smeagol and Delegate Carter, to come forward and make a few comments. When they are finished, Jeff Hook with the Maryland Tax Education Foundation, who is a very experienced investment banker, has worked in the utility industry, who has analyzed the data both as they relate to PEPCO plants and to BG&E plants to demonstrate that, in fact, if we go back to re-regulation, and we do it soon, BG&E customers can save 10% on their electric bills. PEPCO customers can save 18% on their electric bills. With that, let me ask Delegate Smeagol to come forward.
I'll be very brief. It's very simple. We had regulation and we've had deregulation. Deregulation is not working. The consumers continue to watch their costs go up, and the expense of electricity continues to go up. There seems to be no end every day, including today. We see that they're going to raise the rates again. And the only way we're going to get control of this is to re-regulate. I think the bill coming out of the Senate and the House are going to address this in a manner which takes it back to where the consumers can afford to keep their homes, especially in this economy, and to be able to afford the electric rates. And with that, I'll have Delegate Carter, who's joined me in the House on the bill.
Thank you. I'm very, very pleased to be here and be part of this. I think that this effort shows that it is possible when it's time to do the right thing on behalf of citizens across the state, that we can work across the aisles. The people of Baltimore have suffered the most, I would say, and because of this poor decision in 1999 of deregulation. And I think it's time for everyone to start believing and understanding and paying attention that it is not impossible. Re-regulation is not impossible. And that's why we're able to cross-file these bills, work across the aisle, and hopefully call attention to the issue. So again, on behalf of Marylanders and Baltimoreans in particular that have protested and suffered and been put out and lost electricity, lost ability to pay for these things, we wouldn't even need all of those millions that are put into energy assistance programs if we would do the smart thing and re-regulate. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's an honor to be here, and it's really thrilling for me because I see a great bill that can accomplish great things for the consumers in Maryland. We know a couple of things. Number one, we know deregulation does not work. It's based on a myth called competition. In Maryland, we will find Jimmy Hoffa before we find competition. I think there's something else we know that's really important that could become one of the driving forces behind why this needs to be taken extremely seriously. It's already taken extremely seriously by consumers. We know that. We know the economic collapse in America. If there was ever a time for a need like something like this, it's now. But the driving force, in my opinion, has been clear. When the Titanic sank, everybody didn't say, well, the Titanic sank, that's it, let's go home. When the Titanic sank, everybody said, how did that happen? Why did that happen? Well, we need to take a serious look at the executive management at Constellation Energy. We need to take a look at why a great company was brought to its knees, why it had that demise. And I think that the arguments that they present in opposition to deregulation, and I mean in opposition to regulation, and the arguments that they put forward by both the media and the public, and certainly by members of the General Assembly, have to be looked at with some forethought. What kind of credibility, what kind of serious credibility can we give to these people after their stewardship, or lack of stewardship, and the great problems that they have created for the consumers in this state? The track record is abominable. To me, it has been abominable for years. And for really the legislature and former governor and present governor to tolerate this amazes me. I think we've come to a point in time now. I've talked to a number of legislators off the record, and I think there is a large number of legislators in the House and the Senate that feel the way we do, that there is no credibility anymore in the leadership of Constellation Energy. The deregulation is an absolute failure, and that we're in dire straits and we need change. So I would now hope that those legislators will move from a position of concern into a position of action. And this is a good vehicle to begin that battle. I'll just mention that I have a bill in, not related to this bill, but it is a bill that calls for an investigation and study of the Constellation Energy Group leadership in relationship to why that company was brought to its knees. That's what I mean about the Titanic. We not only have to move forward with this great piece of legislation, we need to find out what happened. So we do have a bill that's a commission, because I do not believe the Public Service Commission has the authority to do what I would like to see done, which is to review what happened. It's like saying at Watergate, it was just a minor break-in. I think it was more than a minor break-in. If we didn't have an investigation, we would have never found out that it was more than a minor break-in. It's a great piece of legislation. I want to thank the senators for their leadership.